Okay.
Famous.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it. Hang on, I'm going to turn you sideways. I'm going to see if I can make you bigger. Oh, look, there you are. Oh,
Oh,
So you've seen the story on their mare.
yeah.
And anyway, Bonnie and Kim have been using the Nrf2, the Protandim, for themselves and for their horses for 6 years now?
almost 5.5.
5.5 years.
5.5.
So they have a lot more experience than I do.
Brilliant.
So you can ask all your questions.
Cool.
You
Well,
just-
first of all, sorry. No, you go ahead.
You saw the video though.
I did see the video, yes.
Facebook. Okay,
Yes.
good.
The ABC.
Yes.
Oh, the ABC. Okay.
Yeah, both.
Yeah,
Okay.
I both. I saw you with the foal running behind, who was absolutely adorable.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We paid her to do that.
Sorry?
I said we paid her to do that.
Oh, well, she certainly earned her pay that day.
Yeah.
It was like on cue, like, it was hilarious. So I was going to ask you why I obviously I watched the video, but why is it that you decided to try this on her? Was it just like a last resort, or?
She was gonna die.
Yeah.
Because, well, standard Western medicine treatment of laminitis doesn't work. And over years and years of experience with it, it's what we do, but it's not effective most of the time. I've seen it in very rare occasions. It'll help a little bit, but we knew it wouldn't work. And our vet, Kim, had given our vet information about it a few days ahead. He had actually read what Nrf2 does, the pathways and all that stuff. And after he treated her with Western medicine, he's in the stall leaning against the wall, and you could see the wheels go. He'd been our vet for 20 years at that time. And you see the wheels go, what else can I do to help this horse? Mm-hmm. Kim had been smart enough. She shoves a bottle of pills in his hands and says, what about this? And he said, why not? Let's try it. And it was just one of those deals where things lined up just right. Mm-hmm. And we said, how much? He says, I don't know. He said, but I tell you that, and remember this too, Elizabeth. He said, you can give her this whole bottle of pills right now, all 30 of them. And he said, you will cause no harm. He said, all it is herbs, it's food. You cannot overdose something on food. So we dosed her by weight, and we gave her 9 pills. I take 1, she took 9. And by the second day, 36 hours later, she's clear-eyed. She's looking out the top of her stall, and she's nickering out to her buddies out in the paddock, and she's stepping out of her ice tubs in 36 hours. And so day 3, which was Tuesday, he shot x-rays, no sinking of the sole, no rotation of the coffin bone. And he says, I got to give you more antibiotics because I only gave you enough for 3 days because I didn't think she'd live 3 days. Mm-hmm. And I told him personally I didn't think she'd make the first night, how bad she was. So 3 more days go by, he pulls another blood, called us up, and he said, I got another vet close by that's going to come take the catheter out of her neck because the blood works perfect. And people ask me, they say, well, can you say that Protandim did that? And I say, no, I can't say that. But I can tell you this. I can tell you that my DMSO and my K-Pen and my Banamine and fluids and all the stuff that we always use is the same as everybody else uses. Our ice isn't any colder than anybody else's ice. So you figure out what the difference was. So
yeah.
That's a.
And have you tried it on any other horses with laminitis?
Not personally, but we've had other people in our group that have had great success with it. Yes. Okay. Thank God we haven't had any more laminitis. You know, and it's awful devastating. But we found several other areas that it works. Our initial program was going to be with a 29-year-old mare that was very arthritic, had knees that were very swollen and very sore. She could barely walk, 29. And we forgot about her when the laminitis was going on. We went back to her, and we put her on 1 pill a day for 45 days. And there's a gal that was living on our farm at the time, and she calls us up and she says, you won't believe what I just saw. And we said, well, what did you see? She said, oh, Granny just galloped across the field. I said, on those knees? And she said, yes, she did. And her last 2 years of life, she lived to be 31. Yeah. She was happy. She was bright. She was moving good. And when she was 31, one afternoon, she just lay down and couldn't get back up. And that was the end of Granny. But her last 2 years were super, absolutely super.
Yeah.
We use it on non-sweaters, which we get in Florida in the summertime. And it's like people when they shut out the sweat. It's very dangerous. And we use it on that. We've got about an 80% success rate between us and people in our group for non-sweaters. And you'll love this. For sales, weanlings and yearlings that go up to Keeneland from Florida to sell. Our first experience was the first year. We had a yearling colt, and we put him on 1 pill a day because we're new, we're experimenting, we don't know what to do. Put him on 1 pill a day. Send him up. He's in day 2 of the September Keeneland sale, which is a lot of high.
I've been to the Keeneland sale.
Okay, you know it. So it's a high dollar deal. And he showed his first day on the sales grounds, he showed 73 times. And we use Kitty Taylor at Warrendale's, who we use. And so we go to the barn, and Kitty, how many times did he show? She says 73. So we go to his stall. He's got his head in the corner, the far corner. He's got his head down. His ears are flat, and his hair coat's going flat. He's tuckered out. He's totally worn out. So we said, we'll bump him up to 3. And the next morning we went to see him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, sold like hotcakes, really sold well. And so we learned something. So 2 months later in the November sale of 2013, we've got a weanling. And you take a 7 or 8 month old baby that's never been off the farm, you put him on a trailer, you ship him 800 miles up the road, you put him on a sales ground with 800 or 1,000 screaming babies and mares, and you expect them to be normal. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot to ask. Well, this kid, we bumped him up to 3 a day about a week before the sale. He shows 93 times the first day on the grounds. So we go to his stall. I figure he's passed out in the middle of the stall. He comes to the screen with his ears pricked and his eyes are bright, and he's ready for 94. He was that sharp and that plugged in. He was ready for 94. And you know how foals are. You ask him to do something 3 times in one day, it's like a kid. I mean, you're going to get some pushback. This guy was ready for 94. So we don't send a horse to the sale without it. We will not do that. And there's no nervous in it. There's nothing nervous about it. I mean, it's just focus. It's great focus, great stamina. So, have
you got any experience with horse, people that are showing, like show jumpers or eventers that are using it?
Yeah, we have several people on our team that are in, reining or barrel racing and things like that, and show jumping, eventing, and they find the same thing. Instead of having a nervous horse going into the arena, they're focused.
Okay. And how does it work exactly? I mean, I haven't got around to watching the videos. I know there's quite a bit of information, but I mean,
all it does, and it's proven to do, is reduce oxidative stress, which is cellular stress, by an average of 40% within 30 days. And then the more you go on, the more it reduces it. So, and horses and dogs, of course, they age or they oxidize a lot faster than humans. So they actually turn around faster than humans. That's what I love it when I have talked to somebody and they say, well, I don't know if it'll work on me, but I want to try it on my horse or my dog. I said, I love that because I know they're going to get a lot quicker results with an animal than they are. And plus, horses and dogs don't have this. And, the old placebo effect.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's sister told them that their plumber's cousin's friend had a bad experience, and I don't have time for that. Just show me a dog or a cat or a horse. Let them try it and tell me what you see.
Yeah, but as humans, how have you? What are the effects that you're feeling from taking it?
I am 68. I'm coming 69 in February. I've been a lap swimmer 7-8 months a year in Florida for 5 miles a week for almost 38 years. So I had a pretty good handle on my stamina and my recovery time when I started taking this. 40 to 45 days into it, I get out of the pool one afternoon. She's out watering plants or something. She says, "You're not huffing and puffing like you always used to do." I said, "No, I'm not." No recovery time. Nada. That's pretty good at 68.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. You don't look 68, I have to say.
Thank you.
And as far as joint pain, I mean, obviously as we age, we get a little bit.
It's anti-arthritic and anti-fibrotic and anti-inflammatory. So there's a great study out there on arthritis and arthritis, and it works.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And then it's been shown in horses the same thing, so that they are showing relief from arthritic pain.
Yeah.
One of my horses, they're young. All my horses are young, but he came to me. I rehab horses. That's what I do. I take broken horses and repair them. I've been doing this for a long time now. And my Lusitano horse came to me because he had a twisted back. So the tonus so I fixed it. It's no longer twisted, though 3 vets told me I'd never be able to. But anyway, I have systems in place that work really, really well. However, the tonus of his muscle is really unusually tight compared to a normal horse. Yeah. So I do have to manage it quite carefully. So I'm wondering if maybe this would help him. I mean, have you had any sort of reports that musculature is improved? There's less fatigue in the muscles, or
you're gonna reduce the inflammation in there, and the things are going to normalize. So, for an example, we have 2 neurologic horses that have muscle wasting in certain areas from one of them from a vertebral fracture in its neck, and the other one from running into a tree when he was a yearling. And they are happy messing around the paddock, just like all the other horses in the paddock.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Excellent. And then the question I had asked Anna last time was, I deal with a lot of competition horses. So, trotters, flat racers, and obviously show jumpers, eventers, dressage horses. What is the retention time of the actual effect? Should they be drug tested? I mean, is there any research on that?
We know people that actually go ahead and race on it, both standardbreds and thoroughbreds, but you never know what they're testing for in America. I don't know about your country, but in America, you never know what in the world they're testing for. So our vet at South Florida track recommended, said it's a nutraceutical and it will flush from the system within 3 days. So we tell people to come off at 3 days before running, just for safety. Yeah. I don't think it would show, but I don't want to take the chance.
And how many pills would you have to give them for it to show? We don't know. So generally racehorses are maintained on 2 pills a day. Yeah. So, unless they have some bigger issue going on. But,
it'd be interesting to do the study though, because that's going to be a question that's going to come up.
What's that?
I said it would be interesting to do the study
We gave the vet we were dealing with, this is when we first got started. We thought he would test the blood of the horse, which is what we wanted him, or the urine or whatever. But he actually tested the pill itself, and that to me is not an accurate test. And I would think that it's been tested somewhere, but you know how competition people are. They're not going to tell you what's working for them because they don't want you to know about it. They want to know themselves.
They want to think they've got an edge.
Yeah, and we've got a gal that's a barrel racer, the daughter of a friend of ours. Really,
United States.
Yeah, one of the top in the country.
3-4 years. Won the championship.
She won't tell anybody. And I thought, you can make so much more money doing this business, the business end of this product, than you can racing these silly barrel horses. But no, I'm not going to tell anybody because they'll catch up with me.
Yeah, it's not the barrel horses that are silly, by the way.
You're right. You're right. They are very intelligent.
Yeah.
All horses are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, much more so than us.
The other thing about in competition sports is that it's already approved by the Banned Substances Control Group in the United States.
Right.
So that's
Oh,
a
okay.
stepping stone, you know, for other sorts of things to go on if somebody wanted to take it further.
Okay.
And I believe, Anna, aren't some of the Olympic athletes on the program?
I've heard rumors of that,
Yeah.
but I can't speak to it directly.
It's
as
back to
having-
that same thing. They're not telling it. But
I do know there's golfers on it.
yes,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
golfers, there's
Pro golfers, like champion golfers.
Yeah, champion golfers.
Salt Lake Real soccer team,
Mhm.
Baltimore
the
Ravens.
Baltimore
So
Ravens
many years
football
ago,
team.
so it passes most tests. But you're right. Horse testing is a funny deal. You
Yeah.
never know what they're looking for.
Mm. And you've just said something interesting, that it was accepted by the banned substances in the States, and you've opened up in France. Has there been any communication with the French regulatory systems?
I think that would be down the road.
Yeah, and I don't know if there has been. We don't know about it.
All right.
It actually
But
has.
I mean, there wouldn't be any problems sort of at customs bringing it into the country. I mean, it's sold as
No, they've got all that handled.
implement. Okay,
That's all handled.
great.
Yeah.
Excellent. And one question that cropped up in my head today was that my horses have just been turned out in a paddock they're never turned out in, and in the middle of this paddock is a great big huge oak tree. So of course they immediately went over and sucked up all the acorns, as they do, even though
They will.
will suffer. Do you find any detoxifying effects with this particular? Have you tried it on horses that maybe had higher levels of toxicity due to, you know, all sorts of
It's a great detoxer. It really is for all mammals. But it's hard, you know, to
because
tell
it's
when a
got
horse
milk
is
thistle
really
in it, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's hard to.
It's hard to tell for us to tell when a horse is really detoxing.
Mm,
You know, and you might run a blood ahead of time, run one after, and get the results. But our horses are turned out 23 and a half hours a day, if 24 if possible.
They have free access to millions and billions of acorns.
do they? Excellent. Well, my view has always been, and I mean, I've done a lot of work with a lot of you know, equine nutritionists all over the world, and their take on all of it is, I mean, other than things like ragwort, you know, which is obviously a liver destroyer, but that you know, they've got to be exposed to small amounts of everything, and then they're much less likely to have a really negative reaction. So, which is one of the reasons why I allow them to pig out on acorns and hope for the best. But they are fighting their sides, so I know they're getting a little bit of a belly ache, but
Yeah,
so far nobody's died, so that's good.
we have a suckling filly on the farm that got a bellyache about a month ago from that. Exactly. My guy's watching her sit out there and just eat all she could get.
Yeah. No, I mean, they do love them, and fortunately they're eating brown ones, not green ones, so
Yes.
that's always a good thing. But yeah, I just wondered, I thought it might be interesting to put them on it to detoxify.
It will detox. Yes.
Cool. Excellent.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's a really good product.
Love it. Would not live without it.
Yeah.
Yeah, would not live without it. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously the whole point about it is not just to use it, but to sell it. So
There's a great business attached to this. And it's so funny. Her mother, who was 83 or 84 when we started this, was taking the product. She was a customer, and Kim was kind of encouraging her to start the business. And because she's going to church, she's going to the garden club, she's going to the post office and telling everybody about it. And she says, "Well, Kim, I could never do that." She says, "Mother, you're already doing it. You're already telling the whole world about it. Why don't you become a distributor?" So she did. She did. And it's such a good product. All the products that we make are wonderful. We just came out with a new Nrf2 hair care system, which when I first heard about it, I was skeptical, but I was also informed by her that I got a little bald spot up here.
No way.
Yeah. And and I can't see it, but it's supposed to give you. They can't say it grows hair, but
Actually,
it's fuller. It's going to be fuller.
Fuller.
5 days. I'll let you know in about 2 months.
Okay, I'll be looking for that update.
Okay. Give you a picture of the top of my head.
Oh,
But it's a phenomenal, and you get to do business with people like this.
yeah, absolutely. So
And
are
you're-
you guys there? Are you there for the Keeneland sales at the moment? Oh, I know, because you're in Louisville now.
No, well, we sold a colt on Wednesday, and
Okay.
we're heading back home today. We're going back to Florida, where it's warm.
Where it's warm, yeah. I used to live in Florida.
Did you where?
Yeah, I lived in West Palm Beach.
Okay.
In the 80s, I was in the Arab business, and
Right.
so we used to come up to Ocala and Gainesville quite a lot to do.
Super. My family moved to Ocala in 1956.
Really?
Yeah, my dad was.
I wasn't born then.
I know. I was 6. My dad and his partner had a thoroughbred named Needles. Was the first Florida bred to win the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, wow.
1956, and I was a 6-year-old little boy. Been hooked ever since.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, tell them who you bought your first your first horse from.
Oh, I bought my first horse from Burt Reynolds.
Did you?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
must have been quite a character. I don't think much of most movie stars, but he was one I would have liked to have met.
Yeah, he was, I mean, I met him very briefly. I sat in his office to sign papers and, was a bit starstruck, but he was a really nice guy. And the horse was just a superstar. I mean,
I can see why you girls would be starstruck by Bert. I can say I do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the mustache and everything. Yeah. He was pretty cool.
Yep.
So is that my big brush with fame?
There you go. Well, very good. Well, get my number and Kim's number.
She can
Okay.
From
on
Monique.
Messenger.
Yeah.
And if any more questions pop up,
Yes.
let us know. Feel free.
Perfect.
We're gonna come
Well, I've got tonight. We were meant to meet with my rider, who's French but speaks decent English, and she is interested in getting involved in this as well. And she knows a lot of people in the horse business. So
Press is wide open.
yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, it would be a really great opportunity to get going with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she might have a few questions. So I mean, do you guys do you have a Zoom account or?
Yes.
You do.
We haven't figured out how to use it, but we've got one.
We'll get you all hooked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get you all hooked up.
We have help
We'll-
here. We have help.
Okay. Well,
Different places.
yeah. We'll try to hook up again. I don't know if Monique told you, but I'm going into hospital next week to have a hip replaced.
Oh.
Yeah.
You sure you don't want to give this a try for a while before you go to surgery?
Oh, it's a collapsed joint. The whole head of femur is collapsed into the acetabulum. It's not arthritis. It's because
okay.
I've fallen off horses. Well, I've just dealt with very damaged horses my whole life, and I got damaged in the process.
This will help with the inflammation for the recovery and stuff. So
That's what I was hoping. So I was going to talk to Monique about putting an order in before I go into hospital. And
all right. Well,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
get with her and get our numbers and stuff, and please keep in touch.
Yep, we will. Well, yes. Well, I would definitely like to meet up with you guys again with Coraline, my rider,
Okay.
and so that she can ask you some questions as well, because we would really like to explore this a little bit further.
Very
And
good.
she really works a lot with trotters, and I mean, God, those horses are abused, and to be able to get a little physical help would be, I mean, they
Yep.
are destroyed
Understand.
by the time they're 5, so if they make it that far. So
Yeah.
it's quite a tough industry for them.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So,
Yeah.
but if we could get a few of them comfortable, that would be nice.
There you
My
go.
first horse was a retired trotter.
Yeah.
Oh,
In the-
Really?
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
sulky.
Yeah.
23,
You see them down on the beach every day. Yeah.
All right.
Excellent. It was lovely meeting you
Love
guys.
meeting you, and prayers for your quick recovery.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. All
know,
right, when you
Elisa,
talk to you soon.
It would be amazing for you to have the product on hand to start immediately after your surgery.
Yes.
That will totally change your recovery experience.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll try to sort that out and get it. Yeah, that would be really great.
Yeah. So we'll do a quick Zoom again with when is your surgery?
It's on the 19th. I go in, it's next Sunday I go in, it's next Monday is the surgery.
Okay, so maybe on, maybe tomorrow or we'll do a quick Zoom and figure out what products you should have on.
Perfect.
Okay.
Brilliant. Excellent.
Awesome.
Bye, you guys. Thanks a lot.
Good night.
Bye, Elizabeth.
Bye. Bye.
Have you seen that?